Hi. I've decided to put up another video and just kind of catch up from my last video really, and explain to you just a little bit more, maybe a couple of things I missed out. In the first video, sorry, I keep looking down because I've got notes which I've written just to remind me. So in the first video, I kind of spoke about my depression and that I'd been suffering, for the majority of my adult life, 20 years really. So that's kind of the name of the heading as well. 20 years in blinkers. I used to say to the doctors, I used to try and explain how I felt sometimes, and it was especially when I'd go outside, and I always used to explain it in the way that I felt like I was wearing blinkers, because I would get kind of tunnel vision. I'd obviously lose all of my peripheral vision, and it was kind of like basically walking in a tunnel. I would literally pass people in the street, walk right past them, and not even notice them. So it's one of those things that it was hard for me, because I was trying to explain this to the doctors, and they just weren't. I didn't really get what I meant. So maybe one of you suffered from it, and it's something that happens to people that suffer with depression, especially the anxiety part. The 20 years in blinkers was kind of my journey through depression as an adult, and I just wanted to explain that to you so you kind of understood what it meant. The next thing I want to say is, I never mentioned actually in the first video that I was a chef for 22 years, and recently decided that that's not really the right environment for me. It's somewhere that doesn't allow me, especially now, doesn't allow me to get better. And trying to get better is, for me, is the most important thing. So I don't work at the moment. That's allowed me to really concentrate on my mental health and put things in place. So, when I eventually start working again, not in kitchens, I'm looking at a complete career change. But yeah, getting better with my depression. Hopefully, in the future, I'll be back to, I wouldn't say normal, but being able to go to work again. Now, it's not, the issue isn't going to work. It's dealing with situations and having to kind of work through situations with my anxiety, and how I come across to people. It's that flight or fight mechanism when you get, you know, you get nervous and you get hot and you get sweaty, and you know, being in a kitchen is not probably the right place for me. As much as, you know, I love cooking. That's why I'm going to show you some dishes that, you know, you can cook, and kind of show you how easy it is to cook at home. Now, I'm single, and the reason I'm telling you this is because when I cook, I cook for just me. I'm not cooking, you know, for a family or a partner. It's purely just me. So I've kind of devised a way of the way I cook, and the way I buy my food, you know, purely around one person. So I'll show you some techniques that will help you still be able to eat, you know, fresh vegetables, but not have to throw some away because they've gone off before you've eaten them, or but that will come in some of the cooking demonstrations that I show you. One of the other things I wanted to speak about was, I mentioned it in the first video, was eating carbs affected my depression. So I didn't get depressed because I ate carbs. That's not how it worked. I just noticed that when I stopped eating carbs, my depression wasn't as bad. It's still there, but it's not as unbearable as it was. And just that alone, you know, makes me want to stay on a diet of, at the moment, protein. Tomorrow I go protein veg. But there's nothing to say, you know, if you want to do this, if you want to kind of eat that way, like a carb-free diet, you could add some fats into it, or some, when I say fats, I mean things like oils, olive oils, you know, butter, cheese, still food that's low in carbs, but the reason I don't eat those is because I'm trying to lose weight, so that's purely it. Once I get to my ideal weight, then I can introduce these small things in. And maybe it'll change from me doing a specific diet, as in the Ducon diet, which that's what I do, to kind of coming up with my own diet of, you know, a diet that would suit a person suffering from depression. Now, I understand that for somebody who, you know, doesn't take much pleasure out of life, you know, who's depressed, who's anxious, maybe you don't go out very often, you don't socialise a lot, then eating is kind of one of those things that maybe is one of the pleasures that you get. So you want to eat, you know, the nice food. Everyone wants to eat the nice food. That's understandable. But what I've done is I've come up with dishes and meals that are nice. They just don't contain carbs, and at the moment for me, fat, sugar, or anything like that. So I think it will be probably about maybe 4 or 5 months till I hit my target, and then I'll start introducing things. But if there's any other kind of questions that you want to ask me about cooking, or, you know, things you're not sure of, then feel free. I know I can answer any questions on cooking. So I think that's it for now. Tomorrow I'm allowed to eat vegetables with my protein. So I'll be cooking a meal tomorrow, and I'm going to record it, and I'm going to put it up on my YouTube channel. Now, what I'll do before I actually cook the meal is just go through some of the spices and sauces that I use to really make my food taste nice. And then, you know, next time you go out, maybe you want to pick them up, or you might already have them, but it's nothing that you can't get from the supermarket. And everything I cook is food from the supermarket. I cook it at home, just because, you know, I'm a chef. It doesn't mean that it's anything hard or fancy. You know, it's some days I just have scrambled eggs. It's pretty simple, but I put things in it to kind of liven it up a bit, and I'll try and show you some different ways of doing things. Maybe it's, you know, ways of cooking that you haven't seen before. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, and I will put a video up tomorrow of my first meal. So I'm going to have a think of what to put up, something nice that you can recreate at your home. Okay, thanks, bye bye.